Good evening and welcome to this episode of Our View, the show that brings the voice of poverty to the table. Joining us today is Mia Henry, our work experience trainer and recruiter, and Dr. Preston Hicks, Vice President of Workforce Development from Goodwill Industries. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Tell us the history of Goodwill Industries. Where did it all get started, Dr. Hicks?
Well, to keep me focused, I have notes to make sure I get every piece of this story correct because it's a great story.
It is a great story. I really like this story.
Reverend Edgar Helms, a Methodist minister, in 1902 in Boston, Massachusetts, had the vision and the idea that he could move people out of poverty and work with individuals with disabilities and help them to rehabilitate themselves and ultimately their communities by having them collect, refurbish, and sell used goods. This went really well, and he took the model around the world. At the end of the day, his purpose was to systematically move people out of poverty.
Yeah.
And if you systematically move someone out of poverty, it's sustainable. That means that those households can kind of stay in a good spot. They're stable, and there's also opportunities for economic mobility. So when you donate to Goodwill, you're powering your community. You're giving people the opportunity to work, to learn knowledge and skills, increase their abilities, and ultimately contribute to their households in meaningful ways. Today, I said that we're international. We're in 14 countries. U.S. and Canada and 12 other places. There's approximately 150 Goodwills. We're all independent, nonprofit organizations, about 4,000 thrift stores, which is a lot. Your Goodwill is Goodwill Industries of Central Michigan's heartland. And so we have 8 counties and parts of 2 other counties. And we have approximately 23 facilities. There's 13 stores with donation sites and 10 attended donation sites. What's really exciting about Goodwill is that we were founded by Doris Clausen. And Doris Clausen's the namesake of the Doris Clausen Center. And so in 1953, she had the wherewithal to know that, but she was a renowned leader in special education. So she brought the Goodwill model to Battle Creek. We got a board. We've been moving and growing ever since then through the generosity of people that make donations to Goodwill. There's about 400 employees that we have. And our focus is to change lives through the power of work, because we believe if you're industrious and there's opportunities for you and there's support systems for you and they're consistent, you have a chance.
But Dr. Hicks, the workforce development for Goodwill Industries is so much bigger now than just working in the retail store. Like, you offer training across a vast
we do.
career field.
You sound like a champion for Goodwill Industries. So
I
thank
am.
you. Thank you for that.
One of my favorite partners.
There are the stores and the donation sites, and we talked about the nearly 400 employees, but we have a navigations program. It works with individuals with disabilities, and we provide supports to the Federal Center and at Fort Custer. So we do the grounds and the housekeeping for those places. And
I guess I wasn't aware of that.
Yep, good number of people are there. We make a difference. The wages are great. People come in and work with us, and you'd think it'd be a transitional program, but the quality of supports is so high that people stay and they grow. We also have a manufacturing facility on Wayne Road, which is where our corporate headquarters is, and there we do light construction work. So we'll, for example, call it kitting and light assembly work, high quality light assembly work, precision work. And if you're a manufacturer in the area and you need something put together and you need it done well and quickly under high quality standards, bring it over to Wayne Road and we'll get that done for you. What you're talking about was a financial opportunity center, and that's what I get really excited about. That place is right across the way here, and we work with you guys because you're good partners. But in the Financial Opportunity Center, which is on 15 Capitol Ave, we have, I think, a buzzing workforce development enterprise. That work is funded by the stores, the W.K. Kellogg Foundation, the United Way, and the IRS. because I said the IRS last, we do over 2,000 free tax returns every year.
Through the VITA tax
Through the
program.
Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program, and it's a nationally recognized quality program. We work with all of the kids in Battle Creek Central through the Career Academies program, making sure that those students have quality interactions with employers. We work with WK Preparatory School. We work with all of the schools in the county through a program called Goodwill Connects. That means we take young people and give them a basic experience in work that's it's not fancy. It's get up, show up, do your work, have discipline. When you make your money, learn how to manage it and be a good team member. Those fundamental things go a long ways. We have a financial literacy program, which helps hundreds of people every year get a handle on their budgets so they can use that. So,
And also can help them seek out debt relief,
credit building.
I mean, just tons of things. You help in so many ways through that center.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, coming from poverty myself and knowing many people in poverty, financial literacy is a place where many families in poverty struggle. I mean, first of all, you talk to me about financial literacy and you see the size of my paycheck. I don't think that I have enough money to be literate in finances,
Right.
is what most folks will say, but that's not true. And the Financial Opportunity Center can help you get to a place where you are there.
Yeah. I think a piece of this that's important is that we try to meet people where they are. We have individuals that are their reading abilities, their numeracy challenges, but we're able to sit down and talk with them and to make sense of what is a budget and how the more you're able to get your arms around it and understand it, the more powered you are to make good decisions. And, you know, poverty is a pernicious, debilitating thing. And a lot of the people that we work with are in poverty. It's either situational or generational, but oftentimes it's generational. And to get them to see money differently, the way that I was taught to see money, because I came out of a poverty situation as a child, and someone had to literally sit me down and say, this is what it means to have access to resources. And these are the ways you can use resources to change and manage your life and to help other people.
And to build assets and build things up.
Yes.
Tell us more about your workforce programming. How can people access it?
Come to the building, give us a call. We're at goodwillcmh.org. Typically, someone will come in and they'll say, I need help getting a job, keeping a job, or getting a better job. So we look at those things. We look at what sort of skills they bring to the table, because invariably an employer wants someone who's going to add value to their organization. So one of the things that we do is try to help people with the knowledge, skills, and abilities they need. The Women's Co-op offers lots of training opportunities to give people those skills so they can go into the workplace and compete. We also partner with Kellogg Community College, the Community Action Agency, the hubs, to just do good work. And so part of what I didn't share was that at the end of the day, if you need to get to a job or keep a job and get a better job, there's this list of barriers.
Yeah.
And it could be anything. If you name it, it could be a barrier. It could be from not having money to wash your clothes. It
Or
could
a
be-
place to live.
Yeah, it could be
Transportation.
Transportation,
You don't have feminine
daycare.
products. You don't have child care. You don't have transportation. You don't have money for utilities. You don't feel safe. You could be in an abusive situation. And that job is going to give you the mobility you need to improve yourself and that of your family. So if you come down, we're going to help you get a job as best we can. If not through Goodwill, it's going to be through one of our partners, and you guys are great partners. And we're going to try to remove those barriers to employment. And if we do it systematically, you'll understand what the barrier is and how you can be empowered to move it. And because you were empowered to move it, you can keep it at bay.
And training opportunities are not just for people with disabilities, it's disadvantaged residents, right? So being in poverty in itself. So folks out there that are interested, what we're talking about here is just being a disadvantaged resident and wanting the opportunity to find upward mobility. And this can be available to you. What does it take to qualify? So what if I think I'm disadvantaged, but when I get there, Goodwill says, my friend, you are not disadvantaged?
We're not going to say that.
Okay.
We're not going to say it. So I think it depends on how you see opportunities and people maximizing opportunities. You could be making a very good income, but if you have poor money management skills, it doesn't matter. You just have more money to spread around in bad ways.
Amen.
So,
Right?
so if you come in and you're looking for an opportunity, thus the name Financial Opportunity Center, we're going to meet you where you are. So there's people that come in that are not in poverty, right? And it's because they've made some really good decisions, but they want to make better decisions.
Oh, okay.
So what we're finding is that there's you don't want to categorize or clump people, but what I found is there's three people that are coming into Goodwill for financial literacy employment. One is a group that sees money or resource, the purpose being to pay bills. Mm-hmm. So money is to pay bills.
Right.
That's just what it is. There's another group that sees money as a tool and opportunity, and it's something that you can get to get good credit, but invariably pay more bills. That's just, and this third group may have a little bit of the earlier two, but they're seeing money as a tool, as an instrument, as a lever, as something that's transformative. And those people see that money can work for them in modest ways. It could be savings. It could be having a rainy day fund. It could
Buying a home,
it could
building
be
assets.
all of those things. It's just when you don't have money in reserve, it's easy to make bad decisions.
You know, speaking from personal experience, I started out at a very meager minimum wage when I started co-op. And then in the latter years, I was blessed with a good board who increased our finances and budget, and I got raises. I found it interesting that when I got that raise and I put it into practice at the end of the year, when I looked at my W-2 and saw what I had made for the year, I was like, okay, this is ridiculous that I'm not in a better position. Mm-hmm. And I had to learn a lesson and this is true, we teach this of our members every day. You can't just give someone a job or give them money and expect them to be successful because money management is key to it.
Yeah.
All I did was create this like fund for myself,
Right.
basically. I have more money, I can do this, I can do that. And at the end of the year, looking at that, it was like, oh, I could have done this or this or this. So I think that it's very important that as we try to move people up by giving them opportunities for employment, we need to back that up with, and what will you do with these new resources?
Yeah. You raise a good point, and don't let me forget to talk about our families program. We have a really good family development program at Goodwill because that's a core thing. But, you know, we can talk a lot about opportunities, but out of context, with poor timing, with a person that's not ready for it, an opportunity really isn't an opportunity. Sometimes it's a burden. And so if you're not ready to manage your resources, if you're not ready to manage responsibilities, then someone presenting you with what you think of as an opportunity is not one for them. So telling someone that they just got a job and it pays $17 an hour, great news, but their lifestyle is $21 an hour.
Right.
Right.
Okay? Having someone that has a lifestyle of $21 that's making $27 is also not an opportunity, because there's opportunities to make bad decisions with the money that's in excess. And sometimes if you're living on the margins, it's as simple as sometimes not getting a cup of coffee. And so maybe for us, we're blessed and we can get a cup of coffee every now and then that we didn't make at home. But for someone else, that decision could just wreak havoc on their account.
It could be
for
the
that
difference
week.
between paying your water bill and not paying the water
It is.
bill.
Absolutely.
So something that I've learned, I've been taught, because the people that come in, I'm fortunate, they just talk and they share. And if that cup of coffee is what makes you feel whole, like a person in the world, and it makes you feel
Stop
normal,
bathing and just buy the coffee.
So you tell someone, yeah, I hear what you're saying. But for that person, and it was humbling for me to get a firmer grip on, I need that cup of coffee. So what do you want me to do? Or I need to pay my utilities, but I don't want to send my daughter to school without those sneakers
Right.
that she needs. She needs those shoes to fit in with kids. And I'm a good mother, so I'm going to make that sacrifice, right? But the overall effect of it is that your child comes home and there's no hot water.
Right.
I think, though, that this is a beautiful place for us to have this discussion, too, because we're guilty ourselves. So me and I had a training candidate this last year that was in the shelter. We took them to employment with one of our partners. They were amazing, showed up for every shift, never gave the line leads or anybody any trouble, did their job, did it well, met expectations, exceeded expectations most days, always on time, always there. The one problem with this person, this candidate, was that they were sleeping on the side of the building to this partner. And so the partner comes to us and says, hey, can you do something to help this person out? We weren't aware they were sleeping on the side of the building. When we found out, it's like, absolutely. And so we approach this person and we say, hey, we have this amazing opportunity. This was a single person, so we're like, this is a boarding house situation. And don't worry about anything because we're going to cover all your move-in expenses. This person kind of fired back and blew up at us because we were putting them in a box that they didn't want to be put in. And so at the end of the day, we took the approach of, okay, so if you don't want to do that, then all we are going to say to you is you can't choose that as a location to sleep.
It's tough, I think, at the humility at its height, kind of requires us to listen and to accept people. So hearing what that person wanted to do meant that we needed to understand the context in which they were making that decision. So they may have felt like we were pushing something was pushed on them, but I think they knew you were
Or
trying to help.
taking that cup of coffee away.
Yes.
Yeah, and not understanding that that's the one thing that makes me happy that day,
Yeah.
or the sneakers for our children. Well, we're getting the 5-minute signal, so we have to wrap up the conversation. But Preston, is there anything else you want Women's Co-op to know about why Goodwill Industries is a good steward of Battle Creek, Michigan?
Thank you for that. I believe we have a history of doing good work and partnering, and I want to take the opportunity to thank you for your leadership and your vision and the courage that you have to demonstrate daily to keep the Women's Co-op up and running and helping people. I think the work you do, that makes a huge difference, and you hire outstanding people, and I think you're needed. So thank you for the work you do, and thank you for inviting me to speak on behalf of Goodwill. My president and CEO, Ken Bauer, would have been here today, but he had other meetings he had to attend to, so I get the pitch hit from him, and hopefully we said some things that were helpful.
Thank you so much. And just for the viewers out there, one more time, if I do want to get involved to engage in programming, what do I do? Do I just pick up the phone and call Goodwill?
You can come to 15 Capitol Avenue, right across the street from the W.K. Kellogg Foundation, or you can dial 269-788-6500, extension 2006. I'll take you right to me.
And if I'm a community member who just wants to support the mission of Goodwill Industries, what can I do?
Shop, donate, and come into the Financial Opportunity Center to see how your resources are being used.
All right. Preston, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We've got a lot going on under one roof at 2055 East Columbia Avenue, and I want to show you around, highlight some of these ministries, and tell you how they all fit together to accomplish our vision of creating a place where people can grow through God's love. Before we begin, let me introduce you to some of our core values. Our core values hang all over our building, and they help us stay centered in our vision. First off, we value love. We believe that God is love and that God loves everyone and everything in the world that God created and called good. We seek to share the love that we have received so everyone can know that they are loved by God. We value grace. We know that as humans we mess up sometimes, and we believe God meets us and everyone exactly who we are and as we are. We don't earn God's love. God just loves us. That's grace. We believe in inclusion. We value inclusion. At Trinity, everyone is welcome and valued as they were created in the image of God. Whoever you are and whatever you bring, you're welcome here. We value social justice. We believe that social justice is God's vision that all life should thrive, and we seek to dismantle any systems that prevent people from thriving. And finally, we value action. We believe not just in talking about our values, but in living them out. This is God's work, and we are excited to be a part of it. So now that you know our values, let me show you around our building. And we can't introduce you to our ministries under one roof without first introducing you to Women's Co-op.
Hi, my name is Teresa Momini Young, and I'm the executive director and co-founder for the Women's Co-op. Women's Co-op was founded just a few miles from here in a small trailer park amongst families that were being crushed under the systemic weight of poverty. And so they got tired of looking to the system for answers and started answering the questions themselves. They began doing something that our foremothers have done for centuries. They began helping each other. And through that grassroots effort, an organization was born that still has that network, and that is still the heart of what we do here at Women's Co-op. We provide a stable environment for that network and connect the different connections in the network. In addition to that, we've developed programs that you saw in the video earlier of education and training opportunities.
About how many clientele do you see a week?
Women's Co-op serves a base of about 500 families in the network and provide case management for about half of those cases at any given time.
Okay.
We produce a television talk show on Access Vision every Monday evening at 7 p.m. on Access Channel 16.
Okay.
Where families have an opportunity to bring their voice to the table and their view from a place in poverty on local politics, housing access, access and opportunities to things for families in poverty. We also provide advocacy for families and systems in local systems in trying to translate what the system wants and what they're saying to the person who is trying to understand that and get through that system successfully. We provide those advocacy services.
Women's Co-op and Trinity have been sharing space under one roof for 20 years, and we have grown up together as organizations. We are so united and integrated in what we do and who we are. Women's Co-op is a network of women helping women to lift each other, themselves, and their families out of poverty. Women's Co-op offers all sorts of different things to its members: case management, job and education training, a clothing closet and household goods support, a store where members can get personal care and household cleaning products. But the heart of Co-op is its network. This is women helping each other, be it clothes that a kid has grown out of, food, rides to work, skills, whatever someone has, they can share to lift up someone else. And it reminds me of the verse from Acts where the members all gathered everything they had in common so that no one was in need. One of Co-op's newer programs is job training.
So like we were talking about tutor, I think if we got a female tutor for her, I think she'd be more comfortable, and I think she'd also be more inclined to come to class every
really
week.
good conversation flowing and get the best results. Okay?
Okay.
And so when you're looking for area of a circle, you're going to want to put in pi times the radius squared, and then you'll just plug in where.
In this building, they house their frontline services and janitorial training programs. These future frontline service workers and janitorial workers are able to hone their skills and learn new ones by practicing in this building. We love seeing them grow in their skills and confidence. We miss them when they graduate, but we love when they come back and talk about what they are doing in their new fields and how this program has helped them grow. As an added bonus, I would make a case for us having the most helpful entryway and the cleanest building of any church in West Michigan. Traveling down the hall is the computer lab for Kellogg Community College. So in here is the computer lab for Kellogg Community College, our local community college. And these are some students who are taking computer classes as part of the IAC program, getting certification through KCC.
Yeah.
KCC offers a Microsoft Office certification program out of this space during its fall and spring semesters. 8 students at a time are in this lab learning skills and seeking college credit. It's either a great step for frontline services trainees looking to hone advanced skills, or anyone looking to improve their resumes or restart a college journey. And this is the Butterfly Boutique. It is a sewing and Cricut studio where members can use this equipment to flex their creative muscles and try out small businesses in the creative arts. You can see their creativity on sale at art fairs around the area, in our boutique in the entryway, and their Etsy store.
Hello, I'm Kayla Johnson, and I am the lead instructor here at the Butterfly Boutique. We have equipment to do sublimation, Cricut, using vinyl, infusible ink, those sorts of things. We can make mugs, t-shirts, flags, signs, you name it, we can do that here. There's plenty of us creators and hopefully more to come as more folks are interested in entrepreneurship. And today I was just getting ready to sublimate a training t-shirt for Women's Co-op.
Right.
They also do custom orders. They made our family camp t-shirts this year and they were super cute. Down here is one of our building's newer ventures. It looks like a church nursery, and on Sundays that's exactly what it is. But the rest of the week, it is available for the Department of Health and Human Services to use as supervised visitation for families going through court systems. We believe that kids and parents belong together. And we also know that some families need extra support to make this possible. This room offers a safe space for visitation while families are working on reunification. These parents are also often taking parenting classes and receiving other support from co-op. So this is already a safe and familiar space so they can really focus on their kids. Out back is our community garden. It's winter right now, so these are some old photos of what it looks like when it's in season. It has had a lot of different lives depending on the needs of the neighborhood. It's been farmed by community members, by church members, by members of the Burmese and Congolese refugee communities, just to name a few. The one constant is it is a space where people can get out in creation and grow food to feed people who are hungry. We don't know who will farm it this year. It's too early to tell, but we know it will be at work again, producing good fruit for the harvest. And we have dreams for more. We're working with the city of Battle Creek to turn our kitchen into an incubator space for new entrepreneurs. Battle Creek is a food city, and many people want to start small businesses in food production. But commercial kitchen space is scarce and expensive, making it limiting for a lot of new entrepreneurs. Once this space is licensed, entrepreneurs can come into it and use it to make their food as they are growing their businesses and growing the economy of our community.